welcome back to the channel. One more time. I forgot I was wearing my festive red and black checkered Christmas shirt today. Probably the only Christmassy shirt I own. But it's too cold in this building in the 30s to even think about having that. But one more square body for you guys before we dive in too much. I want you guys to get a gander of this one. This truck was owned by the previous owner. He either told me 36 or 38 years. This was his baby. Said his son was so upset he got rid of it. But it's a cool build. And it's been up, it's been down, it's been a lot of different sizes according to the previous owner over the years. And we're kind of on the list of this one passes the first check over. I told a guy this morning on the phone, you would not believe how many trucks we go through to get to the ones that we feel like are worthy of getting to this point, like the one behind you. So many of them are told to us to be, this is going to be the nicest truck you've ever seen. And turn out they're not the nicest truck we've seen in an hour, much less ever, you know. So we have to go through a lot of bad batches to get to some good ones. The thing I love about this truck the most is the thing, and just like the one in front of it, is the thing that we can't do ourselves. One of the few only things we can't do. We can outsource it, but we can't physically do it ourselves, is paint. The body and paint on that truck with the copper and burnt orange and cream is phenomenal. This truck to be black is straight as an arrow. The body lines are great. The finish on the paint is excellent. Now again, we compared it before to this one behind us with its original paint where you can see the orange peel and all that, but that's GM. That's how it looked. This is that truck with a heck of a wet sand and buff job basically. But this is a regular cab long bed, K10, does have the cowl hood. It's going to need a windshield. It's got a cracked windshield. Me and Christian were just going over the interior because this one has such an incredible interior and kind of the old schoolness of the interior on this one. So the camera might not pick up on it, but oh yeah, it does. I can see it, yeah. The flames, the Chevy symbol actually in the door panel here, the flames through the door panel here. This might not be the color you like, but this is a simple cover of velour change to being gray or another color, whatever you want. But the seat's in good shape. It's another 4-speed truck. Does have electric fans, and we actually, this is the way we know nobody messes it up. The guy actually wrote us up a nice little manual there of how to flip the switches and what to do. And we're gonna be back in 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Ended up with a car seat in my vehicle that I stole out of my fiance's vehicle. She needs to go Christmas shopping, so she can't leave. So we gotta get that taken care of. But back to the square body. Well, the other cool things, those wheels and tires, which were the main reason I want to do this video. Most people probably never saw this tire, especially from the demographic that has been our most popular recently, which is younger than me. The Parnelli Jones was one of our favorite tires. I think they made it for about 6 or 8 years. It was a spinoff from Dick Seepeck. For those that don't know, Parnelli Jones was a desert racer, just like Mickey Thompson was. A very, very prominent one, actually. So he came out with his own tire, and it was really neat because right here, it actually has a P and a J. And it didn't take long, if you ever owned a set of these, to wear through that P and J. After that, they lasted forever, but that top surface went away in 2,000 or 3,000 miles. So that shows you that these are pretty darn new tires. 38 1550s on a 15-inch, and that is a 15 by 14 Weld super single wheel. So one of the coolest things about the truck really was the wheels and tires and the Warn Enforcer bumper. You know how we feel about that bumper, and that's a really nice one. Steel cowl induction hood. It's also been switched over to the 89 to 91 front end, which would have been Blazer or Suburban front end. I don't think it has a winch hidden back there, but it could, but it doesn't. The Warn covers, which are proper and correct, and they're probably one rock away from exploding from being old. This truck at one time, I think he said had a 44 on it, so it was geared with 538s. Now it's back to, I think, a 410, and the front ratio needs to be switched. He didn't use a 4x4, so that's another thing, guys. You always got to remember to check your gear ratios because these old school trucks, sometimes people will put a gear in the back and never do the front. I was also guilty of that because I could afford to do one end and not the other, but as soon as it came beach time, I was rushing to get my front gear changed every year. Many a time that I actually have that problem. So, you know, if you're riding two-wheel drive, it doesn't matter. But if you ever want to use your you better make sure you did it right. It's got a kind of old school headache rack, which we'll be removing. The LED taillight upgrade that was ever so popular in the 90s and 2000s, we'll be switching those back. But the paint line and finish on this truck is so crisp and clear. He said it had never been out in the rain. Of course, when we decided to transport it, we had to pick the most rainy time there was to deal with it. It's got the finned aluminum differential covers. It's got double shocks at each wheel, which are V'd in the back. For those that haven't seen that in a long time, it's very old school. The exhaust is run kind of straight and dumps down. Chassis is in great shape. Needs some cleaning on the undercarriage. Some things have been painted that two-tone purple with the black. We'll probably go all black. But the fender wells are in good shape. Small block. Also an Edelbrock carburetor. Weird, we got two back-to-back with an Edelbrock. But nicely finished under here, all done in gloss. Needs to be cleaned again. It got soaking wet on our transport. A fairly new master cylinder there. It does have Mallory ignition. That's a cool little touch right there too. That little deal right there will keep it from beating up this area. Still gonna rub it some, but it won't rub it raw like metal to metal does. So, pretty neat truck. Excellent on paint. A great starter project. I hate to say project because it's a complete truck. It was a fully done truck to some people, but for us, obviously a ton of things. If it's gonna stay this big, the steering, the track bar, changing up some of the exhaust, changing up some of the parking brake cables, cleaning up a ton of miscellaneous things that maybe to the naked eye are not a big deal to most people, but they are to us. That also would be a huge, well, that truck being so big would be a great candidate, as huge as it is, to become a 1-ton truck, but not necessary. 6 lug is fine, as long as you keep your lug nuts tight, because they will fall off. I've also got a story about that I'm surprised we didn't bring up in that podcast, because that was not real funny. But you do have to tighten your lug nuts on 6 lugs and don't run spacers. What year? I don't even remember. We'll get back across. We'll also put that in the comments. We did determine that is an 87. Again, sorry guys, we're trying to get a lot of this stuff done. We got a short week. A lot of people asking because they've seen this stuff in the background. A couple of the videos out there have just been spinning around like crazy with a lot of questions. So this black one here, and of course this black one here. The black trucks are always the most popular. Survey says 5. Cool. And he did tell me he left the owner's manual in there, which is pretty neat. And there you go. You can see the other gear we were talking about. That's the other gear to match it up. And that is probably about it on this one. So we'll get this one and the other one up to Daniel and Brian for their stages of process. And you guys go on the website, you can see the rest. I'll go ahead and get Christian just to do some basic photos on this one, so at least we can get it online. So if you guys don't like zooming in or stopping on your telephone or TV, however you're watching, you can actually go onto the website and see these. Make sure you're on Davis4x4.com. You can go to Davis Auto Sales, that will work, but you're not going to see it as live. Davis4x4.com is our live website. This truck will also get photographed. Did you do this one yet? Yeah. Okay, you did photograph this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we got 6 that need to get put on. So we'll get those done in the next couple hours as these videos upload. Thank you guys. We'll be back before the holidays here.